Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll off 'em. Off 'em. If he reach, then I'll pop 'em. Street sweeper, I'll wash 'em. Homicide, come and chalk 'em. Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll off 'em. Off 'em.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is who is under more pressure to win, Chris Eubank Jr. or Conor Benn. As you know, Conor Benn's moving up 2 weight classes to fight Chris Eubank Jr. And they had their press conference. And as you know, Chris Eubank Jr. is the son of Chris Eubank Sr. And Conor Benn's the son of Nigel Benn. And Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn fought twice. Chris Eubank Sr. won the first fight, and their second fight was a majority draw. We're going to take a listen to some of their exchange, and then we'll discuss it from the press conference. So let's take a listen.
I want to keep.
What happens if I beat gas in the tank? What do you do then? What's
Connor?
No. Just answer the question. Don't go, Connor. If you beat me, blah blah blah.
I'm going to answer your question if you calm down for a second. You have nothing to lose in this fight. If you pull off a miracle and beat me, you're a superstar. You're a made man. You're out your father's shadow. It's beautiful.
I'm out my father's shadow already, mate.
No, you're not yet.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Yeah, you're not. That's your opinion. Yet. You're not proving it. This is your chance to do that.
No, I disagree.
And if you lose, it's too early. It was too early. It was too soon.
You keep thinking about excuses, though. You don't hear me saying, he's a heavier weight and I'm taking the game. I couldn't give a rat's ass. I think I can beat you. I'll beat you. Forget the weight. Forget everything else, me jumping up 2 weights. If I think I can beat you, I'll beat you. That's why I've taken this fight. Don't hear me going, I'm only going to be 40% because you're two weights heavier. I'm not going to prepare for this. That's what you keep coming out. I don't need you to make up excuses for me if you think I'm going to lose.
No excuses.
Well then.
For me, this is actually, so for him, it's a win-win. For me, it's a lose-lose. If I lose to Conor Benn on the 8th of October, I'm finished.
Facts.
Finished. I can't, my goal is to fight for a world title within the next year. I can't lose to Conor Benn and then say, hey, let me fight for a middleweight world title. It just can't happen. And if I win, I'm most likely not going to get the credit for it because he was too big or Conor, whatever. So it's a lose-lose. All the risk, all the pressure is actually on me for this fight. I mean, he's got his pressure, but I've got a lot more to lose. So you're in a great position. You're going to make an absurd amount of money.
I get paid already, don't mate.
It's a great business move on your part, but make no mistake. The money you make is all good, but on October 8th, I'm going to liquidate you. I am going to do that.
So that was the exchange, and basically in that exchange was Chris Eubank Jr. saying that all the pressure is on him, and that basically, if he loses, he's finished and his career is over, and which sparked the question, who is under the most pressure to win this fight? Conor Benn or Chris Eubank Jr.? I'm going to turn over to you, Trill Dollar Bill.
Everything I agree with Chris Eubank. I think it's on him. You got the guy, the smaller guy saying that I would come up there and I'm going to touch you. It's on you to show and prove. You know what I'm saying? To let you know, like, nah, this is me. I think it's definitely on Chris. I see nothing but love for Conor Benn. He did everything he's supposed to do. He's being compensated well. He's knocking people out. He's putting butts in seats. When you talk about Chris Eubank Jr., people will be like, it's the one that just haven't really, went over the hump yet. So I think Chris Eubank Jr. got something to prove. He's a son of another European boxing legend. you know. But he hasn't really stepped out of his dad's shadow like that. Conor Benn is really making a name for himself, you know. So I think this, to me, I really feel like Chris Eubank Jr. got something to prove. Like, I'm not no sweet touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no slouch. You know what I'm saying? I can throw them hands too. Stop overlooking me. Show me the same love and respect. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna take it. I think he got the right mindset. You know. So I think Chris got a lot to prove, man. Because everybody writing him off. They saying that the smaller dude gonna come up there and just bully him. You know, I'm reading the comments and all this. They're not showing Chris Eubank no love. You know, all they saying is all he got is size. You know. So, listen, like he say, he feel like it's a lose-lose. If he wins, they feel like they gonna say something. If he loses, you know, they gonna say something. But I'm gonna tell you this: just win. Just win. That's all you got to do is just win.
All right, Spurgey.
This is why I never like the fight to begin with, because I agree 1,000% with what Chris is saying on this. Bro, you're the bigger guy, and you're fighting against a guy who's still a prospect. There's no glory in that victory. You just look like a bully. You know what I mean? And he understands that. It's like I respect Conor Benn's confidence, right? But that's all he has. That's all he needs to have. Because if Conor Benn loses, it's not like people are going to be like, yo, Ben, you's a fool for that, this and the third. They're going to be like, you know, he did to be great. They're going to give him credit in the loss. Eubank loses, there's no victory in his loss. You know what I mean? And there's no victory in a victory. It's like, dude, why'd you even do this to yourself? And then it makes you wonder, like, are you that strapped for cash that you needed this fight because nobody wanted to see you in the ring? You know what I mean? And it's like, if you're up for an actual title in your division, but then you do this fight, what happens if you lose this fight? You know what I'm saying? Do you still have mandatory status? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that play a major factor. And not to mention, if you actually lose to the guy, you look like a laughingstock, bro. So it's like, I don't even know why he agreed to do this fight. I'm telling you, I wouldn't have done it if I was him. I'd have been like, man, nah, it's not worth it. Maybe Conor, maybe in 2 more years, when you're no longer a prospect, when you're like really, really like that dude, if even a Conor Benn who's had a title shot, then that's a little different. But as of right now, bro, it's like the zone's still building this guy. So this to me was just immature. And then you understand that, and yet you still want to do this fight. I'm like, who is on your side? Like, yo, what? I just don't understand. I feel bad for Chris, yo. Like, I really do. I feel like the people that are managing his career, they did a misstep with this fight, you know. And then, but the only thing that I would say where I was like, Chris Eubank was wrong was when he was like, yo, Conor Benn, this fight will get you out of your father's shadow. Yo, he's already like Conor's already outside of his father's shadow. Like, let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, Chris, however, is still in his dad's shadow, at least from my perspective here in the States. So Conor is doing great for his career, especially at where he is right now. He's doing great. Chris, you ain't doing as great as you could be, you know, and people do always compare you to your father, to the senior. I don't think people really do that with Conor Benn, to be honest with you. I think like Conor Benn, he's doing like good. His fights are exciting. People want to see him. You know, like he could lead a card. You know what I mean? It's like it's a lot different. Nobody's really looking out for a Chris Eubank fight, bro. Let's just keep it real. Like, come on, son. Like, so you need Conor Benn. Conor Benn don't need you. That's the difference, you know. But this is why I feel bad for Chris. Because it's like at this level, this stage of his career, he shouldn't be like this. I don't understand why you need a guy that's smaller, who's not even as established as you, to fight him to get you to the next level. You should be ashamed of yourself. And in the fact that he sounded so humble to me during that clip. It sounded like a guy that just knows, I'm not going to win nothing. It's like, hey, man, you lucky, man. You got everything. I got nothing. I'm just going to lose. Even if you win. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a dude like that, you're like, my man,
Hey, yo, G, I gotta say this real quick, yo. Yo, we miss having you, bro. Welcome back, bro.
I don't know. I'm listening to this dude Chris, and I'm just like,
yo, G. Yeah, I gotta say, you gotta understand there's lineage in this shit. Oh, I cuss.
After all that happened during the break, he gonna be the one to start off like this.
After he corrected me during break, he's like,
yeah, bro, I'm just saying. You know, Conor Benn was. I think Eubank daddy beat Conor Benn daddy, and that's the beef. It's lineage. It's like your daddy beat my daddy. Now I gotta beat you because your daddy beat my daddy.
Hey, yo, you calling for Mark, bro? That ain't got nothing. The sins of the father.
That's what started this. That's the main point. Because when we did this segment a couple of weeks ago, you weren't here for that, but that's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Thank
you.
I'm
gonna go after that.
G was here for that,
but whatever.
He was here, yes.
It's cool, Dad. It's all right. Thank you. That's just cold finesse saying, yo, welcome back, Dad. I'm just saying, I do feel bad for Chris, man. Yo, Chris, man, keep your head up, man. I actually felt everything he said because I understood that pressure when this fight was first announced. And I was like, yo, Chris, you're not going to win anything doing this, man. The only thing you're going to possibly win is a bag. But is a bag even worth it? And I don't think so.
All right, TVE. The floor is officially yours.
All right, the floor is officially mine. And I'm going to be like this. It's just family versus family. It's like Romeo versus Juliet, but I'm not going to name. It's like a. It's Shakespeare. That's what I'm going to label it as. It's Shakespeare. And, you know, it's just somebody wants to be more dominant than the next family. It's like the Jones versus the Johnsons. And, you know, y'all both made it, but, you know.
Man, so this is Hamlet.
Yeah. Instead of establishing success with each other, they want to bring it back to.
He's like, yo, this is like Othello, son.
Yes.
Yo, dog, he put a plague on both their houses, yo.
Yeah. So, I guess in the next 10 years we'll see Eubank the third versus Eubank the fourth, or Eubank the second, or whatever. Eubank the third. You know, it's just gonna be. We don't know when these guys are gonna retire, but you know, some people. We don't know. I don't even know the kids they got right now, but it's just you never know when it's gonna happen. But I expect a third trilogy of the Eubank versus the Conor Benn family in a longer generation. But
it's all right, man. It's all right.
Yeah. But you know, it's this generational family beef, and. It's
like Shakespeare, son.
Bad family beef. That's right from fatherhood to down to their great grandchildren. And from this point, from what I'm seeing right now, it's just like they're trying to carry a legacy and they're trying to make it something that's important. But I don't think Eubank Jr. is going to do his thing because Conor Benn's a monster. I feel like he's going to knock his block off. But if Eubank comes in and he really has that anger, that passion, and he's really focused, he can get the job done. But I don't think all three is unlocked or intact for him to do that. And yeah, Eubank, you haven't lived up to the name. You haven't lived up to the name because your career isn't where it needs to be, but you get in the spotlight.
So an interesting thing was of all the things that are all the reasons that Chris Eubank Jr. was stating as to why, the pressure was all on him. He's not going to get all the credit. If he wins, he won't get credit. If he loses, then his career is over. I guess I wish that Conor Benn or even Eddie, who was sitting there, would have followed up then. So what benefit do you get for taking this fight? Exactly. Why did you take this fight then? If you're going to sit here and voice all these disadvantages that you have for taking this fight, what motivated you to take this fight? Why are you taking this fight? Because that's what I want to know. Because it seems like he checked every box for why he shouldn't be fighting Conor Benn. In our prior video, we stated why he shouldn't be fighting Conor Benn, and we also stated why we don't think Conor Benn should be fighting him. But again, this is an Eddie special, like when he let Amir Khan get knocked out by Canelo. Like when he let Kell Brook get knocked out by Triple G.
You nailed it right on the head, bro. You answered your own question right there. I'm gonna quote the philosopher Saul Alvarez. Payday.
Well, absolutely, payday. Because if you're not getting any benefit, then it needs to be money. Must be the money, because there's nothing else. Nothing else. Right? Because you just clearly stated how in every way it's a lose-lose for you. So it got to be the money. But then you say to Conor Benn, you're just going to make a lot of money. And Conor Benn's just like, I've been making money. There's also a snippet that we didn't play when Chris Eubank Jr. says, I can't let the Benns win this one. I can't let them get one up on the Eubank family. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I tried to think, like, is he trying to relive like a big moment? I'm sure like when he was younger and his dad would, Chris Eubank Sr. was fighting Nigel Benn. It probably was a very exciting time in his life. Probably, a highlight of his life. So like, is that the feeling he's trying to capture, or is it he's trying to, prove something to his dad, or is he trying to be like his dad to say like, oh yeah, you beat Nigel Benn and I beat his son? Like, it's like, is it something deeper than that? Because like, really, I don't see the point for him. I don't see the point for Conor either, because I feel like Conor's career is rising. Like his stock is rising. People are like interested in Conor Benn, and Chris Eubank Jr. is kind of in the middle, going up and down, but his ceiling doesn't seem to be as high as Conor Benn's. Now, if Conor Benn goes and he beats Eubank Jr., will that launch him into superstardom in England? Absolutely, it would. But there's a lot of risk involved in that. But what I'd say about Conor Benn, that I like about Conor Benn, is like he seems like he's really focused and he's really like determined to beat Eubank Jr. and he feels like he can beat Eubank Jr. What I really like about Eubank Jr. though, his troll game seems to be like he's like he doesn't care about anything. He's like, yeah, and like I'm gonna liquidate you, and it's just like with no emotion, no nothing. He's just like, I'm just here to get paid. He's almost like Marshawn Lynch at I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then he's talking about like weight clauses and all this stuff. It's real difficult for me to read, but if I had to say, I'll say the pressure is on Chris Eubank Jr. only because you're the bigger guy, only because like the perception is that you are picking on the smaller guy. Don't get it twisted though. Conor Benn has a lot to lose too. Ask Amir Khan, ask Kell Brook what they lost moving up 2 weight classes, trying to be great. So, I mean, he could take a beating that he never recovers from. But that'll be up to you, of course, Chris Eubank Jr. But the pressure's on you because you're in the bully seat. Right? It doesn't matter if he challenged you. It matters that you accepted the challenge. G was there with me one time. One of my boys was this small dude, was going crazy. Like, he was just feeling himself and tried to challenge me to a sparring match. And I'm sitting there laughing. And I'm like, man, please.
I would have blessed him.
You wanted me to bless him. G was like, bless him, yo.
Talking too much. Sometimes you gotta shut your mouth. You know
but it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. What would matter is that if I accepted that, because I knew what Chris Eubank is saying. When I knock this dude out, everyone's gonna look at me like a huge bully.
Bully, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's gonna look at me like a huge bully. You know,
I know. I was just standing there, I was dying. I was everybody would look at you like, "Yo, D, why you had to do that, B?"
Yeah, exactly. You can't win.
Yo, and here's the thing too. Even G would have did it.
I know. He would have.
He would have like, yeah, you should have tackled. Then afterwards, he was like, you know what, man, you didn't really have to do the brother.
Come on, you know I be playing, man.
Seriously, man, yo. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but for real.
It wasn't even that serious.
You remember that situation? I said to you, one, I don't feel threatened, and two, like if I beat him up, everything like I'm gonna look bad. It's just not for me. But once you accept it, you can't just sit there and complain. You accepted that challenge. You just got to know in your head. You know, and this is completely unrelated, but it reminded me of this situation. When I was younger, 13 years old, I was playing Pop Warner football, right? So that's like pee-wee football, you know, when you're younger or whatever. And so I was returning a kick, and the other team had a girl on the team, and they put her on a kickoff return. And so, like, we saw her, like, you know, you see people warming up or whatever, and, like, all my boys was giving me slack, like, yo, dog, she gonna tackle you, you know what I'm saying? You gonna get hit by a girl, right? So I caught the kick, right? And I was running, and I saw her approaching me. And in my mind, I just kept thinking, like, I cannot get tackled by a girl. So I turned it up, dipped low, ran her over, right? And then I got tackled afterwards, and she was crying. And she was like on the ground crying, and they brought the staff to tend to her, and she walked off the field. And then all my boys on the sideline were just looking at me like, how could you do that? Oh, what's wrong with you? Did you really have to do that? And I'm like, yo,
who raised this kid?
If she tackled me, I would have been getting clowned all day on the bus. I do that, and you all are mad at me. I was just like, I can't win. And that's why I learned sometimes you just can't win. If I could go back in time, I would have tried to juke her. I would try to juke her, right? And if she would have tackled me, I would have just had to live with it. But the point I'm making is, like, sometimes you just got to know when you're entering a lose-lose situation. You chose to enter the lose-lose situation, so what happens now is on you. I hope the money's worth it.
What happened to True?
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.